If you're building websites, especially if you're new to it, you know quite the challenge that you might run into in making a website that works both on a mobile device as well as a desktop and all the different browsers that are out there. So what do you do to make it a little bit easier? Well, there's a couple things that you can do. You can use CSS, obviously, but if you're just starting off, trying to make it work for all those can be a challenge. So what I want to do is show you a CSS framework. That is a framework or a collection of classes that is given to you to make it easier to build these websites. I want to show you what a standard web page looks like, and then one with a web page using something called Bootstrap. So here I have a very basic web page, and you can see I have a large image, and I have text, and all this type of stuff that you might expect to see. Well, if I just add an external CSS class called Bootstrap, you're going to notice it's pretty similar. There's a lot of similar things. You got the large image, all the text. Now you will notice that my margins have gone away, and so my text is up against the edge, which is both good and bad. And you're going to notice that my font has changed. That's because I need to apply the classes that Bootstrap wants me to use. And when I do that, I can take the exact same HTML file and now have it look something like this. Now my text is not as wide, so it's easier to read. I have things like a hero section and rounded images. I have a navigation. And what's even better is this is mobile friendly. So I'm going to come over here real quick. Under More Tools, choose Responsive Design. This is what it looks like on a Kindle Fire if I'm holding it in portrait mode. If I hold it in landscape mode, you notice it looks pretty similar to what it did on the desktop. I'm going to choose iPhone. And now you can see that it resized it automatically. And this is what it would look like on the iPhone. And I can adjust and change this even more if I wanted to. So this is a very simple method that allows me to reflow my information so that it works easily on all different types of devices. But it goes even further. And you notice, for example, I have my hamburger menu now. My navigation wouldn't fit, so it's hidden underneath this little button. And I can see my links for my navigation there. I have buttons that are available to me. And if I'm on a desktop, it's going to have different hover effects. Obviously, it doesn't on a mobile device. In fact, Bootstrap is going to give us a lot of different help. It's going to help us on things like typography, which is the text and fonts and font sizes and different things like that. And it's all responsive. In addition to Bootstrap being known as mobile first, it has a lot of different features available to us. I get things like buttons that you can see here, as well as other features, such as carousels and cards. I get the ability to lay out with forms and other types of things I might need to use. And in this series, we're going to go over the basics of setting this up. In fact, Bootstrap has a lot of advanced features as well. So you can choose your own colors and you can work with customizing it even further. We're not going to get into that. That's a little bit more advanced. We're just going to look at the basics of how do we start to use Bootstrap in your projects so you can have a mobile-ready website. So check this video coming up next on how do we go and create a website using Bootstrap by installing the CSS class in our web page. There's also a link to the series that you can look at our playlist on all the different videos in this project.